My mic has been muted. Ah, here I am. Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching the replay, type replay. If you're watching it live, say live. And if you see up in the corner a little red square, that means you're live. If you don't see a red square, then just say watching the replay. Let me know where you guys are watching from. I am tuning in from the great state of Arizona, where it is a little warmer than Kansas, a little chilly, not gonna lie. But honestly, in the summers, the only thing I love about Arizona is my grandkids, because I am not a summer heat person. You guys love winter or you love summer? Let me know, because this girl with the red hair and the freckles and the fair skin does not do well in the Arizona sun. But put me inside with some grandkids, glowing. I'm telling you, I am in the rhythm of life this morning. But speaking of that, I wanted to talk to you guys. Do you have grandkids? Anybody have grandkids? How much you love your grandkids or your kids? You can say, "Oh, I would never do this or that," until something is needed with your kids, right? Like you can be the nicest person in the world until somebody messes with your kids or your grandkids. Well, there's something about it. There's just this love that you have for your children, for your grandkids. And yes, I'm early this morning, Melinda, because when it's straight up 9, I am going to be at a football game. So I was deciding, do I cancel or do I go early? So, yes, those of you that are watching, we're early this morning. You might want to tag your friends. You might want to share this on your wall. I know people are going to be like, what happened? Did the time change? Nope. I'm just committed to showing up. And at 9 a.m., I am going to be the biggest fan on the football field. They're called the Chiefs. Can you believe it? It's my first time ever watching Jetty play a football game, and I'm so proud. My son Chance is the coach, and I've never been here. That's so unlike me. Like, I'm the crazy helicopter mom that never missed anything ever. And, Dave's mom, I think she was at every event we ever went to the entire time, from the kids playing T-ball and being at their first dance recital all the way to college athletics. And just never missed anything. So it's been super hard for me to be 1,500 miles away from kids and grandkids. And we've never, ever, ever went more than 30 days. And we went Black Friday to almost Valentine's Day, which is criminal in my mind. But we had to make a temporary sacrifice because we're building a team, we're creating an onboarding system, we're putting together a big company, been beta testing an awesome product. So it's been temporary sacrifice for what someday will create a lot of freedom for a lot of people. But here I am early in the morning. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things. I was thinking of my topic yesterday. I usually take some time to really read and meditate. And yesterday was insanity, came out of nowhere, crazy, crazy good blessings. And, anytime you have blessings, you're going to have burdens. That's just part of the equation. But it was so funny because we got in our Uber, and you land and you're like, call me right away, call me the minute you land. Your kids are like, call me. Your office is, my phone was going crazy. So we get in the Uber and we're returning calls, 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 calls. Can you get on a Zoom? Can you call me back? And the guy driving the Uber literally turns around. Now, this is funny, you guys. Like, this is gas passing laughter if you really think about it. Dave and I are in our travel clothes, just our conversations from the back seat. This Uber driver is switching lanes. All kinds of things are happening out of nowhere, like came out of nowhere. And the Uber driver looks back and goes, "Are you guys in the series Suits?" And I was like, "I thought it was a clothing show or something." Have any of you guys ever watched the Lost or the Law Suits, the show Suits? I was like, no, I've heard it's a really good show. He goes, you guys do a lot of business. I mean, think about it. I'm calling the employees at the store, calling my kids, calling my partner, calling people on my front line. Like, I'm calling, calling, calling. Dave's calling. He is cracking up. He's like, this is an entertaining Uber drive. And he's like, so when did you guys start your brand? And Dave and I are like, well, it's not really started yet. And he's like, well, it sounds exciting. What is this all about? And then, we start sharing with him. And what I want to tell you guys, most people would give up at the first sign of resistance. but we have literally been groomed for this. And the capacity that you can handle is based on your own personal development. So, what I wanted to talk to you about today is this little flag football game that we're going to at 9 a.m. So, we came here with Nana Cindy to watch Jet play a baseball game when Lola was 3 months old. And, Jetty hadn't been around a lot of sports. He had never played a sport before. Dave went out on the field with him. Chance went out on the field with him. He cried. He didn't want to play baseball. And he didn't really do another sport. And that's been 5 years. He loves to play his game. He's very artistic. He likes his stuff perfect. Like he's a very creative kid. He always is like dressing up like a superhero. Like you watch kids, they're all very different. One of my kids was very outgoing, the other one was very introverted. They all had talents within themselves, but somebody had to bring that out of them. Somebody had to bring that out of them. So a few weeks back, Chance called and said, Jet got a note. There's a flag football team he can be on. I called. They asked me to be the coach. Like, they don't have enough dads to be the coach. Now, I don't know how many of you know my son Chance or the story, but Chance grew up in a small town of about 2,000 people, not a lot of opportunity. He had to play every sport, right? He had to play every sport. He was the quarterback, and then they would put him on defense. He was the catcher, and then he would be the pitcher. Like, you're doing everything you can to bring together a team. And let me tell you, when they first start, they suck. That's the only way to become a champion. When you first start, you suck. I will tell you, wearing this shirt today because Jetty's team is called the Chiefs, I'm not really that into sports, but I can't tell you how many years Dave and I went and spent our Sundays at Cindy's mom's house watching the Chiefs lose and lose and lose and lose. Like, I don't know how many years they had a losing season. Dave could tell you because he has a picture from the last time the Chiefs were really a great team. And he was a little boy. But Andy Reid in this whole story groomed this team to eventually have a winning team that was champions, right? How many of you have been watching a losing team for a long time? Like, and they keep running the same plays and they keep putting in the same players and they never pivot. And I don't know a lot about sports, but I get so tired of watching games when every man in the room is like running up the middle. Oh my God. Like sometimes I want to scream and be like, it is a piece of rawhide. Like we're all screaming about a freaking thing that's leather filled up with air and it's controlling the mood of the entire world, right? But people are such fans and they just want to win. They just want to be on a winning team. They want to root for a winning team. They want their team to win. But how does that start? Because just like Jetty was a little boy and we took him to baseball and he was afraid and it was out of his comfort zone and he cried and he came home, didn't mean he wasn't ever going to be a champion. It just meant maybe not baseball and maybe not when he's 5. So Chance was little. He was a little guy. I don't think he was 5 foot until high school. I remember this one girl was kind of a bully and she used to always scream from the bleachers, Pitcock, are you 5 foot yet? One of these days we're going to have a 5 foot party. And as the mom, I always wanted to go up in the bleachers and rip her out by her hair, but she was like 5 times bigger than me. And I was a little afraid of her. But, these things that people say to you when you're on the field get in your head and they start to fester and they start to grow and you start to believe it. Like, who are you listening to? What are they doing to you? And is that okay? Right? Kids hear what you say about them. Oh, he's not that athletic. Oh, he's not that fast. Oh, he needs to lose some weight. He's lazy. All he does is this. All he does is that. Like one of my nephews came to me on New Year's Eve. We did dream boards together. And he said, all the kids say that I'm too fat. And then he shared with me how they bully him and they say that he's too fat and they say that he's not fast and all of these things that got in his head. He even told me things he had done because of the things that got in his head. And it shocked me. And I sat down with him and I said, I want you to see yourself winning. I want you to see yourself at the ideal weight. What can Aunt Barb do to help you? Let's be accountable with each other. Let's change our habits. Maybe you wake up earlier. Could we get you a mentor? Could you go practice with the kids that are really good? I said, what is it? He said, yeah, they start calling me names right when I get out of the car. And I said, don't you let that get in your head. That kid that's critiquing you and calling you names and hurting you, he is insecure. He's not confident. The only way for him to feel important is to tear you down. And you guys, that is the entire world. When they feel threatened, when they feel insecure, when they feel not significant, they're not getting highlighted, or maybe they think you're going to get the spotlight and they're not. Their first instinct is to draw back. And I've read a lot, I've learned a lot, I've paid a lot to go to masterminds, I've experienced a lot. As a person building a brand, what you really want to do is build an incredible team. And how do you build an incredible team? You don't just go get all the best people that you can get to be on the team. You get the best people you can get to train your team, right? Yes, you want to go get some great people to be on your team, but let me tell you guys, champions are born from experience. It's not something you can pay for. It's not something you can create. It comes from losing over and over and over again. It comes from a conditioning. And Chance took on this team. They haven't won a game yet. It's been 5 weeks. They've even had double headers where they lost both games. Last week, they thought they were going to win. It was this close. Jetty got 1 foot from the touchdown and at the 1 yard line, let go of the ball. He doesn't know. He hasn't played that many games. He doesn't understand how close he was and that he could have kept pushing. You know, most of us are that way. We give up 1 yard before the finish line. We give up when we're tired. We give up when we're stressed. We give up when we're scared. We don't understand why there has to be so many valleys and not enough peaks. We look at everyone else. Why can they be with the same company for 25 years and it's all peaches? And I've experienced 5 setbacks. Or I had this incredible team and then my whole team decided they wanted to go do something else. Guys, that was me not that long ago. Don't forget where I was at 12 months ago. Like, I literally came out of a funeral to a complete storm of disarray in the middle of a company. And you know what it taught me? It taught me what not to do. It taught me about strong relationships. It taught me why people stay. It taught me why people leave. It taught me a very, very valuable lesson. And let me tell you about that lesson. Nothing will ever keep us from our destiny, ever. Nothing. Because it was written in stone before we were born. But we get so upset trying to control the narrative of the people that God removes from our life, the people that God puts in our life. Like, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed for this very day. I never said, Lord, I want to not see my grandkids for 90 days. I want to sleep 3 hours a night. I want to take everything I have and sacrifice it. I want to start from scratch and I want to try to create a brand new team with all brand new players. Like, that was never in the game plan. That was never in my goals list, and it definitely wasn't on my dream board. I thought by 2024, I would be on a beach holding my grandkids, sipping a little drink with a pretty little pineapple in it, probably have a vacation home out here by them. I figured all of my kids would be around me. My life would be amazing. Like, Dave's mom had all the grandkids around her every single day. Well, lucky for her, we never left Russell. Guess what? My kids have different dreams. I can't put my dreams in my kids' lives. And you can't put your dreams and goals, your wants in your kids' lives. Same way with your team. You might love your company, but your company, my company, is not the best company for everyone. And we can't expect people to feel the way that we feel or be who we are. We, the player on the field, has to get in alignment with what our values are. And we have to shine so bright that we attract and create our own dream team. I hate the word dream team, but I'm going to use it today. Have you guys ever looked up the story of the United States Dream Team? I mean, it's a long story, too long for my episode this morning because I have to keep this short. But everybody thinks like, oh, they went and recruited this dream team. They didn't. They were underdogs and they rose to the occasion and they became champions because they worked together, creating a culture, believing in one another, losing and losing and losing and losing and losing to be conditioned to win. How many of you are sick and tired of losing? How many of you are sick and tired of coming up 1 yard short of the finish line? How many of you are tired of watching your kids or your team give up right before great success? You've got to be the example. They're watching you. Your team is watching you. Your kids are watching you. Your grandkids are watching you. And I have noticed, everything's always going to be okay. I want to tell you guys that. You're going to be okay. God has always provided a way, and He has always shown you later why things happen the way they do. Always. I don't know if Chance's team is going to win today, but I'm going to be on the sidelines cheering them on, telling them how amazing they are. I told Jetty last night, I see you getting a touchdown today. I see you guys getting your first win. I can't wait to be there, to get the picture, to scream for you, to get the video, to be cheering you on. And you know what, guys? Your team wants that. They don't want to know how great you are. They want you to cheer for them. They don't want you to put only the best players in. They want to have a chance on the field. Your kids don't want to hear about the one kid that is so good and why can't you be more like them? I hear so many parents say that to their kids. I have always told my kids, every one of them, they're all different. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are talented. I was like, maybe Jet won't play sports. Now imagine this. Chance is a 5 foot little freshman on the football team in Russell, Kansas, a small town. He's playing offense and defense. He scores 7 touchdowns in one game. One game. Nana Cindy is going berserk. Dave is having a fit. I'm just trying to video it. Like, I loved him the same before he scored 7 touchdowns. It was never about how amazing he did. I was proud of him even when he was losing. And let me tell you guys something. He was a state champion wrestler. He went to track and was a state track star. Callie was a cheerleader. Callie was a national dancer. She went to state track. Brooklyn was a national champion dancer. Brooklyn never cheered, but she tried track. It wasn't for her. Guess what? She had a lot of other qualities that weren't the same as some of the others, and she soared in those areas. When you're really creating a team, your dream team, you got to look at each one of those players and say, what are they good at? I'll tell you, in my family, Brooklyn has the biggest heart and is the biggest, greatest gift giver, take care of everyone, yellow personality that there's ever been. Callie, she just gets shit done. She ain't putting up with no shit. She's going to tell you how it is. She's going to run it. She's going to tell you, like, this needs to be done. We need to quit candy coating this. As a family, let's come together. Like, doesn't matter what it is. She went to college, got a 4.0. Everything is going to be, done. You want something done? Go give it to her. You want somebody that will make everybody feel loved and cozy and save the world and save every dog and save every person off the street and whatever. Call my oldest. You know, I go to Chance. His skills are completely different. Highly competitive, as is Callie. She was a flyer at K-State cheer for 4 years, 4.0, top student. She wanted to go to college and be the first one in our family to ever go to college. I mean, my brothers and sisters are all entrepreneurs. None of them are in the field that I'm in. They're all six-figure earners and none of them went to college. So I can tell you, true grit, work ethic, dream, vision. You can have and be and do anything you want to. I don't care what industry you're in. It comes down to your own self confidence and the way that you feel. And someone that's your mentor cheering you on. Callie had a great mentor that said, you should try out for the K State cheer team. She made it. Then she had a great coach. Then she had other great mentors. She had great friends around her. It's all about your environment and who's cheering you on. If you're around a bunch of friends that aren't cheering you on and they're not telling you you're great and they're not spotlighting you and they're not trying to bring you up, they're going to pull you back down to their level. That's where it's cozy. It's like crawdads in a bucket trying to crawl out and someone say, don't do that. Come back here. Oh my God, you can't do that. It's too risky. It's too far. It's too scary. How stupid could you be? I'm telling you, nothing will keep you from your destiny when you're in alignment with what you want. This little 5-foot football player from Russell, Kansas, decided one day, I'm going to quit wrestling. He was a state champion wrestler. My son was the coach. He said, I'm going to get in alignment with what I want. The coach cried, the principal cried. Oh my God. He was most upset to even tell Nana Cindy and Grandpa John. Like, he was the greatest wrestler. He didn't just win, he pinned your ass. And then he put a safety pin all across his little beanie. So when he walked in and there was 30 pins, you were like, oh my God, there's Pitcock. Like, they literally called him chicken wing because they knew if he got them, it was going to be a chicken wing or a Granby and they were going to get smoked. Like, he was the best and he knew he was the best. And one day he just got burned out and said, I'm going to be a senior. I want to quit wrestling. I want to move to a different town. I want to bulk up. I want to get faster. I want to get better. And the coach said to Chance, you can't leave. I mean, I just had a baby. The baby had a disability. The coach was a good friend of ours. The coach was not able to be there at all the practices. He wanted Chance to run the practices for him. He needed Chance. It was heartbreaking. We were like, do we move? Do we stay? We love the coach. We're a winning team. You're going to be the one scoring all the touchdowns, Chance. You're the best. You're good. He got out of his comfort zone. We picked up our entire family, moved to a little bigger town, kept our farm, moved to a little bigger town, and we all sacrificed. Callie was a vocal star. She was the main person in every play. You know, they had always been on dance team, not cheer. Moved to a new town. She tried out for cheerleading, had to sit out for a year. Can you imagine? You're a sophomore and you're going to sit out for a bit. He gets on the football team. I said, you know, Chance, as a senior, you might not even play. You're giving up being the MVP to come over here and you might not even play. But when the dream is big enough, the facts don't count. Don't underestimate the value of all the small things, all the losses, all the times that you came up short, all the naysayers, all the people that left you, all the people that hurt you, all the people that screamed from the grandstands, like, you ever going to grow up? You ever going to hit 5 foot? You ever going to win? Because guess what? That creates a burn in the belly. Like, when we left that little small town for a new season, the dream for Chance was college baseball. College baseball was the dream. He had offers all over to go play on the East Coast. And he loved K-State and he thought about it every day. He loved football. He was the fastest kid you ever saw run, but he wasn't that big. And one day, his senior year, when we were preparing for an East Coast move and a baseball career, he opened up the mail and there was a letter from K-State football. And he didn't even wait until fall. He moved on the first day of summer. And I'm telling you guys, it was so surreal. And he was, next thing you knew, he was playing on the field with Gronkowski's little brother Gronk, and he was playing with Tyler Lockett. And, you know, he was around all these incredible players. And that didn't end up being his 4-year career. That didn't end up being his 4-year career. It took him in a dot to dot for his destiny that God already had planned out anyway. It's just that our expectations are what usually create our disappointments. And the next thing I knew, Chance was running a clothing line, had a nonprofit for suicide awareness, because many of you know Dave lost his only little brother. Chance was struggling at a time in his life and had a lot of pain, which made him want to create a movement. None of us know what other people are going through. None of us know. None of us know. But here's what we do know: how we make them feel from the bleachers, the things we say, the things we do, the way we react, the way we encourage. It's everything. It stays in people's minds. It stays in people's minds. Words do not go away. I want to tell you, no matter what anyone ever says about you, or what they think, or what they post, or what they write, or what they message, be kind. Be an encourager. When we moved from Russell to Hayes, we did what we had to do based on Chance's vision and Chance's alignment. It upset a lot of people. I sent Christmas cards to people that we had been in a wrestling club with, and my husband was the coach for years. We built the website and everything. They responded, "Take me off your mailing list and don't send me your Christmas cards." Like, I came back to the town to watch my little nephews play and heard people in the football stand saying, "What are the Pickhawks doing back in these bleachers?" Small minded people talk about people, big minded people talk about opportunity. They encourage, they allow. There are a lot of people that were my top earners in 2022, 2023, they're top earners today doing other things: travel, clothing, other nutrition. I'm cheering them on. I'd love to be your customer. What do you think I could use? I'm proud of you. You're following your dreams, you're following your goals. Let me tell you, you're going to get your day. God is going to line it up for you too. Just because you don't have success today doesn't mean you won't have it later. Chance was right there. Highest pro agility on the team. Like, how could he look at his self and look at all the other people that ended up in the NFL and not compare or ask? Because God had a plan for Chance. God has a plan for you. Callie and Darian were in Germany last year. Darian was on a pro team. Tore his Achilles, came home. What in the world? Heartbreaking, devastating. But if that hadn't happened and they hadn't put him on a PIMF mat and said frequency healing is the way, we're going to get you healed back up so you can get back on a team, none of us would be talking today about frequency. None of us would be talking today about the power of magnesium and collagen healing. None of us would be talking about nootropics in our family, I mean, what it does for your mind and mental health. You guys, every 6 seconds, someone in America takes their life. Every 6 seconds. While I said those last 2 sentences, someone took their life. Yesterday, it was a young girl that was my dance teacher. She taught my girls. She was their mentor. She ran my studios. When I retired and sold both studios, and we moved to Hayes that year so the kids could get on a different level and play some different sports and have different coaches. When I moved, I sold the studio to a girl that was a student, a friend, a mentor to my children, took them to national dance competitions, groomed them. I mean, I guarantee you, part of the reason why Callie became a K-State Flyer was when she was a little girl, someone believed in her. Someone was in the front row. Someone was cheering. That girl, Lindsay, was cheering Callie on when she was 5 years old, dancing to Kiss the Girl, dancing to Daddy's Little Girl. And yesterday, in an instant, she took her life. I was on a prayer call. I was with my family. I was with Dave. We were flying here to see the grandkids. I was on a prayer call with all the top leaders in our company, praying for the leadership, praying for guidance, praying for Thank you, Lord. Gratitude, forgiveness, guide us, protect us. It's been a crazy week. Many things that I never saw coming just lined up out of nowhere. And I'm just like, what? It wasn't me, it was God, it was destiny. And I have no control over what everyone else does, right? Neither do you. I cried the entire drive to the airport. I was on the prayer call, couldn't even get my words out. The text came during the call. Crazy timing. We were at the same Salina exit Dave was at when he got the call that his little brother took his life. And I want to tell you guys something. I have so much confirmation right now in my life in this chapter that no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody screams, no matter who leaves the team or stays on the team, no matter who comes, no matter how many losses, I'm creating an empire of champions with a passion and a purpose for mental health. I wouldn't have the Rise product had everything not lined up like it did last year. Grieving, sickness, overweight, shingles all over my body, a child struggling with addiction, a mother in law dying of a horrible disease. Like, I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you right now, I have had so many losses, and the Lord is grooming me for a really big win. You have had so many losses, and the Lord is grooming you for a really big win. But you can't doubt the little small things. You know, in scripture, I did a little thing the other day on Facebook to see which girl I would be in the Bible, and it popped up and said, you would be Job. None of us know why. Why do good things happen to some people and bad things happen to good people? Like, none of us know why. But don't underestimate the value of the small things. How much effort, even when there's no growth? How much push, even when there's so much pain? All I could think about was what I could have done to make a difference in that young girl's life. She bought my dance school. She exploded it in Great Bend, Kansas. She has a showcase next weekend with all these beautiful little girls that look to her as a mentor. And somewhere deep down inside, there was something missing. Mental health is a very important thing. Feeling valued is a very important thing. Knowing you're loved is a very important thing. When it comes to mental health, none of those things can stop somebody from a permanent decision based on a temporary situation. And there's a lot of people out there right now, guys, that are hurting. They need hope. They need money like they need oxygen. I had a message this morning from a lady. My husband said I have 4 months to get out. He doesn't want to be married to me anymore. I have little kids. I had another message from a lady. I'm losing everything. We're having to list our house. I don't know what to do. I had another message from another lady. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I'm afraid they won't let me do this or that. Like, everybody out there, you guys, all they want to do is win. They want to have security. They want to be able to be with the people they love. They want to be close to their family. They want to feel valued. They want to know that there's a chance that they could play, not just sit back and watch everybody else get put in every day. You know what's hard about the Team Chances coaching? It's a rec team. And he said, Mom, I really just wanted to put in all the good kids so we could get the win. But it's a rec team. You got to play everybody. And you know why there's rec teams? So that the kids can figure out if they love the sport or not. It's not an NFL team. It's a rec team. It's an NFL or it's a little kids flag football. Let the kids get out there, build their confidence, just like Lindsay did for my little girls in dance. Let me tell you, when Lindsay was teaching and we all went to all those competitions, my little girls at Barb School of Dance, we sucked. We lost every damn competition. We were going up against kids that were coming in private buses and, you know, they were at the studio 9 nights a week. And I mean, I couldn't even get my girls to all be able to afford matching jackets. We had to sell 1,000 tubs of cookie dough just to have our name embroidered for $3 on a black satin jacket. We were not good. We were not good. But eventually, those girls went on to become nice national champions, K-State cheerleaders, open to their own studios. You're being groomed. It takes time. Harvest is not the only season, guys. Winning championships is not the only season. There's always going to be a losing season. Galatians 6:9 says, don't get tired and give up. For some of you, due season is on its way. I love that. Like the Chinese bamboo, the first 40 years, I'm 52, the first 40 years, you don't see anything. It barely grows above the ground, right? How many of you are like, it's bamboo season? Underground, it develops to take a massive root for when it's coming into its season. When Callie and Darian were at Tulsa, it was tough. He was playing college basketball there. They were having a tough season. He was a senior. Of course, the dream is that you're going to have a great season. Someone's going to see your talent. I remember they had a bamboo in their kitchen. And every day when we showed up to a Tulsa basketball game, we said, it's bamboo season. And there was just a lot of tough things. They let go of the coach. There was a lot of changes. You guys, that's life. That's life. It's not going to be easy. But in the 5th year of that bamboo season not taking off, all of a sudden it grows 80 feet out of nowhere. Some of us want 5th year growth without the 4 years of development. I feel like I've been in bamboo season for way longer than 5 years, and my due season is on its way. So is yours. It's taking a long time. You're getting tired. You're getting frustrated. Keep being your best. Don't quit when it's hard. Don't stoop to the level of the naysayers in the bleachers. You have to go through the small times to really get to abundance. You have to go without to have enough compassion to understand when the people on your team are going without. Be faithful in the small things, and suddenly you will thrust into that success. Coming out of nowhere. I look at some of my mentors and people. If you're faithful in the small things, there's going to be big things. It's just part of it. Do the right thing, even when you don't see any results. Cheer the other people on, even when they're not on your team. There are no shortcuts. You're going to have to prepare for this. Be prepared. Get conditioned. Keep going. Sometimes you have to take a quiet season. Like my 5th year of bamboo season will come because there was times where nobody saw anything. But you got to do the right thing, even when nobody's watching. And you don't have to defend yourself. You just have to know there are no shortcuts. You're being prepared to be a champion. You're going to have to serve a lot of people and do a lot of planting before you're going to be promoted. And the victories of your past aren't going to be anything in comparison to the victories of your future. You got to think like you've already had the success. Think like you've already had the success. I'm not stuck. My day's coming. I'm not on a losing team. My team's about to come up. This morning, as we go to Jetty's game and they've lost every single game and now we're here, I bet the pressure is high. I bet this kid is like, my grandma Barb's here, my Papa Dave's here. I hope I get the ball. I hope I get the touchdown. Let me tell you guys, I would say if any other coach other than his dad was the coach, they might have looked at him and said, should we put that kid in or not? Do you want to know how Dave Pitcock became a champion? He got on, well, first of all, he rode a lot of bulls that he fell off of. He swung a lot of bats in college and struck out a lot. He started a lot of things that maybe didn't pan out like he thought they would pan out. And eventually he hit the home run. Like, you can't be afraid of failing. Today, whether these kids win or lose, I know they're grooming a kid. His confidence is gonna come from little bitty small wins, just getting that much closer to 10 yards, right? Small wins create the confidence that makes you go out and do a little more activity. Then you're gonna push more, you're gonna do more, you're gonna want to show up. But somebody has to be screaming to you, you're about to win. You're about to come up like you've never come up. You're about to have your 5th year bamboo season after nothing has happened for 4 years. It's all the roots. that have been growing underneath. Small wins create the confidence, creates a little more activity. That creates success. That was my entire training in a book that's coming out this month called Leading Ladies. If you haven't heard about it, it's going to be amazing. Anyway, because you're faithful, you will abound. It says, new victories are coming. New relationships are coming. No adversity can stop you. No enemy can conquer you. None of the naysayers can do anything to hold you back. I literally have it written. I read it every single day. Do you know what I say every single day? I say, I'm going to own the warehouse. I'm going to build an empire. I'm going to be the biggest company in the entire portfolio. I'm going to attract the right people. I'm going to get in alignment with my coaches, the people who are like me. Lisa Grossman, love this woman. She's a lot like me. This week, I had hired a girl to do our onboarding. Just hired a girl to do our onboarding. Never ever dreamt, ever. In fact, I tried to stop it. Never dreamt she would be a part of my team. I will tell you right now, you cannot stop anything that is meant for you. And you cannot attract the things that are meant to you if you're not putting yourself out there and you're not believing and you're not saying and you're planting the right seeds. I know who I am. I know who you are. You look in the mirror, you say, I am somebody, I can be, I can do, I can have, I can get, I can manifest anything I dream of if I just do the right things long enough consistently. I'm telling you guys, bamboo season is coming. You're going to see victories in your near future that are pale in comparison to your past the minute you start believing it. And I'm going to this game today believing we're going to get a win. Chance is grooming a champion. Chance is setting an example. Chance is allowing the kids to get on the field, not just the Hall of Famers, not just the ones that have always been the ones on the field, but value every single player, guys. You don't know who's going to be your next big person. You don't know which employee is going to take your company to the next level. You don't know which person on your sports team is going to come out of nowhere and be the rookie of the year. You got to highlight the talent that is on the field working. You know, sometimes the talent is not worth the toxic that it brings. Sometimes you got to let things go off your team. Sometimes you got to say that is not in alignment with what we're trying to do. Even though it might get you there faster, that cancer in the group, that negative, if it's not in alignment with your culture and your values, let it go. Go get a whole brand new team. I'm telling you guys, at 52 years old, I'm at a point in my life where I want to be around people that are in alignment with my values, my purpose, my passion. I want to build an empire with the people who will actually pick up the bricks and carry them, not just show up and want to sit at the table. I know that every single one of you can probably relate to this. There's people in your family, there's people on your team, there's people in your church, there's people in your office. You can't change the people around you. You be the light, you set the example, and you create the boundaries. We don't discuss things like that. We're not going to go there. That's not part of our culture. We're creating a winning team. We are creating a winning team. We are going to be champions. Bamboo season is coming. It's coming, guys. It's coming for every single one of you. And you want to know the one thing that I have noticed? How it's going to happen is none of your business. God already had the victory won long before you even got on the starting blocks. He wants to thrust you into success. He wants your family to be blessed. He wants you to have abundance. He wants to have your health be amazing. All those things. It's you that has to get out of the way. You have to literally get on your knees and say, Lord, I need help. And if there's anything that I know in my every ounce of my being, my purpose and my passion is much bigger than a company or a brand or a name or a paycheck. I will, for the rest of my life, be trying to figure out a way to give back. It's going to take millions of dollars. Recovery, mental health, putting families back together, healing that epidemic that's happening. One in three. with mental health and depression. Every 6 seconds, someone taking their life. Why, guys? Why? It's how they feel. When we feel good, we do good. You got to get around right people. You got to put good things in your body. You got to break bad habits. You got to be aware of the people around you. When's the last time you called to check on your people? Let them know you love them. Let them know they're valued. Let them know you care about them, and you were just checking in. Just reach out and just, you guys, when you're all love, it's the highest vibration of all frequencies, and all love attracts all good. And if it's not all love, it's not going to attract all good. It's all about the foundation. So I'm about to be the grandma that makes us late. I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to go be obnoxious in the stands. And I just want you guys to know my heart. You are a champion. I don't care what team you're on. If you're not on my team, I'm cheering louder for you than anybody else is. I want you to win, win, win. I want you to come up big. I want you to be happy in your rhythm of life. And that might not be my rhythm of life, but that's okay. Because you know what strong, confident women know? There's enough out there for all of us. And when you are not jealous or envious of other people's success and you're cheering them on, abundant blessings of success come to you. That's the kind of team I want to create. So I hope that all of you guys are somewhere today where you're having an amazing Saturday. Drop in the comments where you're watching from. Give me your one takeaway from today. All I can tell you guys, get in the vortex. It's bamboo season, and that thing that you haven't seen any growth from is about to sprout out of the ground and go 80 feet high. So have a great day. I'll talk to you all soon.